stats then. Harstem stats. Game 1 of this best of 3 from Group B of the competition. Let's see how this goes. Let's see what happens between these two Protoss players in what will be our final series that we cast here today. Top left-hand side, Red Protoss is going to be Harstem, going up against the Blue Protoss, bottom right-hand side, Splice Gaming's stats. So setting up into this, getting this ready to go, getting this ready to roll in the next few moments. We're going to see how this will, how this is going to develop. So, yeah, again, thanks so much for joining us today, guys. I know a lot of you have been very quiet and so on, but it's been cool. A good way to get back going again. Again, we're going to be back streaming daily once more now. I do apologize about the last kind of week or so. Obviously, I went out in Katowice, which kind of took away Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Obviously, for the majority of that, there was kind of matches going on Katowice anyway, so it was only really Wednesday, I think, and Monday, which really kind of affected the stream, because really we wouldn't have streamed during Katowice anyways. But it just kind of sucked because the Katowice is like a 6-day event because of the Monday and Tuesday for the open brackets, so it was really kind of crazy how long we didn't really have much content for. So, and it would have been okay if we didn't come in off such a crappy month to begin with. We actually had a really crappy month on February, so back on track, getting sorted out once again. Lots of fun, new content continue to come your way. Going to continue to look to see what else is going to be happening, and yeah, just looking to see what's gonna happen. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. As we set up here into game number 1 of this best of 3 PvP series. We haven't cast any PvP. We've cast some mirror matchups today, some Terran versus Terran. We've been trying to cast the ones that you guys voted for as well. This one wasn't very highly voted for on the straw poll, but I get to pick one series for the day, and this was my series to pick. So I picked this one, Harstem stats. I guess I picked the first one as well, but yeah, I think this is going to be a cool one. So let's see what happens in this PvP as we set it up. You'll see the Nexus expansion coming down from stats in the very early stages as Harstem. I mean, he's got a couple Stalkers on the way. I mean, he's going to put down his own Nexus here. Did he actually just cancel a Stalker? I think he did, after seeing his opponent expanding. So I think he cancelled from 2 Stalker production to 1. It's just a little bit, let's change things up a little bit there, just based on what he was scouting, obviously. So that's pretty neat. That's always nice. We're going to see the Stalker just continue to move around then at this point. You can see the mothership core from stats just down the south side, just checking for any sort of proxy Stargates over here. You got to think that stats so far saw the main base but didn't see the natural, so he doesn't know that there's been an expansion just yet. So just being super safe. Now he sees the expansion. His probe's even going to get away. Nice and sneaky there, as Harstem does indeed have a Stargate on the way up though, so he has got tech already coming in. Let's see what he can get, what he can do with this tech choice in the next few moments. Stargate about to finish up any second now. Kaboom. Hey, Oracle on the way out then. So Oracle on the way out right here. Harstem just starting to set up into this first Oracle, first tech of the game. Robot Facility will come down here from stats. Obviously 2 very different ways to tech out of their early openers, their early expansions. Harstem's approach is obviously going to be focused on trying to get some damage done with this Oracle, trying to poke in, poke around, pick up some worker kills and take a bit of an economic lead, which will make up for what will be a slightly later Robo and hence slightly later Immortals, etc. As he does start that Robo right now. He's not that far behind though. Not that far behind, but he is also a couple workers behind as well, so he does have to kill a couple workers just to even out the economy anyways. So let's see how this goes. He'll actually follow up with Phoenix as well, which is interesting, whether it's just going to be the one, probably not in PvP. Generally do commit into more than just the one, so probably a few Phoenix here to continue harassing, and maybe makes a bit of a timing out of it as well. We're about to find out in the next coming moments as stats goes for what I would say is the more standard PvP mid game, which is going to be the Robo already up and now going into Twilight Council, probably for Blink right away, and just going in towards some Stalkers to start us off. Actually cancels the Phoenix, builds a Void Ray. Now that makes a lot more sense, because one of the other very common compositions for Protoss play in PvP is to go in towards Void Ray Immortal. A lot of firepower that can come out very quickly, and you're really just reliant on Immortals, Void Rays, very beefy units, rather than teching up in towards Blink and more Gateway units. So that's what Harstem's starting to head towards. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense than the single Phoenix that was on the way out. Because Phoenix in PvP, something we don't really see too much of nowadays unless you open Phoenix straight away, or unless you see it's a Stargate versus Stargate, for example. So yeah. Mortal Void Ray makes a lot more sense. Now we do see from stats that blink on the way, as we suggested might be the case. He's also going to drop down the Forge. He's going to be looking to try and take an upgrade lead here as well, as the Revelation does drop onto a couple of Stalkers, a couple of Sentries. Just giving Harstem that little bit of extra vision here. In the early stages, we're going to be seeing these units just all gathering on up. And looking to see what's going on. Hallucinated Phoenix here is actually just going to get shut down pretty quickly. Does get turned away. There's a couple of Stalkers. I mean, Stas is trying to pick up info, trying to figure out what is going on. But what has he seen? Well, not really too much. I don't think he's seen the Void Ray. I don't even know where the Void Ray is, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. There it is. Over here. So, not picking up too much information just yet, as, well, Stats, his advantages will be taking a much faster third Nexus. In fact, the probe will be here to take that right now. And that's because he has the mobility to take a much faster third Nexus as well. He'll also generally be holding a bit more map control because those Stalkers are very mobile with that blink. Now, Harstem, with what looks to be more Void Rays coming up very soon, if he's just on Void Ray Mortal, it's again a lot more immobile. It's a lot slower to move around. And so he's going to have to kind of, just be a little bit more cautious about all that as you're going to be seeing this probe. Going to come through, going to drop down the Nexus on the third base. So again, just slightly slower third Nexus. Going to drop the Rubber Ray down now as well. So again, kind of heading towards the same setup as Stats is later in the game. Just going about it in a bit of a different way. Oracle's still flying around, yet to pick up a kill this game, but Oracles can do so much more than doing damage. The revelations he's putting onto the army of Stats is so important because it just gives them the info as to where are those Stalkers, what's going on, and so on as well. As we're going to be seeing these Stalkers, a couple of Sentries, the Immortals, all gathering up together towards the third Nexus. Disruptor is about halfway done here from Stats, and still just going to be seeing this Oracle to the far right hand side set up and looking to see what is next. Let's observe the Stats moving forwards as well. We're going to have a little bit of a peek to see what's going on, as again more Stalkers too from Stats just coming around and looking to see what's up and what's going on. Hallucinated Phoenix is going to start working its way through the Mothership core. A little bit more damage dealt there, and yeah, obviously not real damage dealt, but fake damage, you know, mental blows, mental punches. And it's just going to be seeing the couple more Void. I mean, still so many Voiders being made. And I guess the kind of I'm intrigued by the Robo Bay. He's going Disruptors and now double Voider production. I guess it's just the additional Void Rays I'm really confused about. Otherwise, it would seem fairly standard. I feel the second Stargate is just so different to what you're expecting, though. So let's see how it works for Harstem. I mean, the thing is, though, this Hallucinated Phoenix, he sees more Void Rays. Sees a Disruptor too. I guess what he's seen isn't too surprising until there's a lot more Void Rays that come out. Oh, look, guys, we found our Shark buddy. Hi, dude. Where have you gone? There you are. Hi, dude. Should we go for a ride on the back of the Shark? Don't say you never get unique experiences on the Wardy stream. Literally riding on the back of the Shark watching StarCraft. Amazing. Incredible. Templar Archives comes up here from Stats, who will be looking to reinforce this army with a few Archons. Warp Prism will be starting to move forwards. We're going to warp an initial set of Stalkers to begin with, actually. But again, we'll just be looking to continue moving forwards here and getting ready to be aggressive. Stats feeling as though he's got a bit of a time to make something happen here. I don't know if he does, though. Attacking into Immortal Void Ray seems a little bit suicidal in a lot of ways. It feels as though it's just going to be an attack which is not going to really prevail to anything. I mean, they both have a couple Disruptors, right? So that's not an advantage. Harstem has an extra Immortal. I mean, the question is, do these Stalkers fight against the Void Rays? Well, no, because they're not going to get on top of them, because the Disruptors can stop them from doing that. I think that's one of the main things. Harstem is a bit preemptive maybe on that first Disruptor shot. Overcharge coming down as well. Force Field 2 blinking backwards. Stats being deflected so far without Harstem really needing to take much of a fight. Sans is going to sit back a little bit here, figure out what he can get done as we see the Void Ray picking up a couple kills. Nice defense over here. These Adepts really do nothing at all, but that's going to be pretty deadly. 2 Adepts, a Sentry, and an Immortal connected there. And that's going to be big. I mean, the Immortal doesn't die, but it does go low on health. Another Disruptor shot will pick it up now. And it's just so much easier to pick that off now, so that's something we're going to be careful of, as we're going to see. Oh, I was so sure that Disruptor was dead. Doesn't quite make it, though. Harstem still just using these Disruptors to do what he can. Nice revelation from the Oracle. Very important still to keep track of where those units are. Know what's coming towards him. Know when his opponent's looking to pick off a Disruptor, for example. And when is the best time to fire his own Disruptor shots forwards. See another Stargate, a Fleet Beacon added on too. We see now +1 air weapons from Stats, also with another Stargate coming up. Intrigued to see what he goes into. He's going to start making more Void Ray Stats. a weird thing to switch into. I mean, maybe I'm just out of the loop for PvP because of this last week or something, but I can't really say that more Void Rays is kind of, or Void Rays from stats is what I was expecting. Now, Harstem starts to build carriers. That's something we've been seeing more of in the PvP matchup, and that doesn't surprise me so much to go into those off of where he's already been so far, you know? But, you know, to kind of have, like, stats going into Void Rays, now for me, that is very surprising. Beacon is on the way up, starting to come on in right now. We're going to be seeing, well, still just Stalkers, Immortals, a couple Disruptors set up on this left-hand side. So many Void Rays up in the sky, man. 9 Void Rays. It's absolutely insane. Let's see what happens to these Stalkers push forward. We're going to see Disruptors. Well, Stats loses one of his Disruptors right there. He doesn't connect with his own. Harstem taking a bit of an upper edge in that fight. Here we go, another Disruptor shot. Harstem manages to dodge away. Just so many Void Rays in the sky, man. You can't deny the fact that Harstem just has so much to work with right here. As these units get ready to keep on pushing forwards, look to see what they can maybe make happen. Here we go, Disruptor shot fires. Didn't do anything just yet. Another ship coming on in, a couple more carriers as well. I mean, I think the carriers are really going to be a bit of a game ender, because I don't think there's anything realistically from stats to fight against a decent number of carriers. Like, oh wow, you made some Void Rays. Well, I've already got Void Rays to fight against those, so that doesn't really affect me. As Voids continue to chase forwards, you can see the damage output of them. It's kind of scary. Harstem maybe not even going to wait for the carriers here as he continues to push forwards right now. He's going to go up towards this 4th base, which is taken in the same location Harstem is taking his own right now, although it is again a little bit later. Harstem's composition really is about power, and not expanding as quickly as Stats' composition right here. Is going to see Disruptors firing. It's going to be Harstem losing Disruptor this time around in this trade, but I think Stats might be about to lose his natural expansion. A carrier joins up as well. Here he goes, Stats with a few Void Rays of his own coming in from the right-hand side. Revelation goes off on the Void Rays, but that's about it. Harstem finally losing out on that Oracle, which he's had with him for the majority of this game. And there's Stats just going to have to rebuild his natural expansion. Harstem backs away to the low ground once again. Second carrier coming across the map to join up now. Uh-oh, Stats has to be careful again. Cannot necessarily just fight into Harstem's army just yet, because Harstem has quite a lot of units to say the least. Here we go, and we're going to see a Stalker going down. We're going to see another pound picked off. Is that Harstem picked up? It is. He's going to pick down that Disruptor. 4th Nexus is in trouble, as I don't think Stats has an army to fight here. He does have a big upgrade advantage on the ground, but the only real units that affects for Harstem is kind of these Immortals. Here we go, Disruptors come forward. They're going to hit on sentries and Stalkers and all sorts, and oh, it's a massacre. Harstem is just pushing on through. His army is going to kill off so much here. Stalker's trying to fight, but it doesn't matter. Harstem with the mothership at the end as well is going to pick up game number 1. Good way to play as well. Again, maybe I'm caught off guard in terms of my PvP knowledge at the moment and how up to date I am with it, but there's a very unique PvP to what I've been seeing as of late. PvP a bit of a weird matchup though, because out of all the matchups, PvP is the one you don't see quite as much of. I would say it's probably one of the least seen matchups in StarCraft 2 nowadays. Lots of strong Terran players, lots of strong Zergs. And there's a few, there's a good amount of strong Protoss players, but very rarely do they end up meeting each other in online cups, for example, and all the rest of it too. I mean, I've seen my fair share of Sky Toss, but very rarely have I seen it come in off of what was just a double Stargate Void Ray production Immortal opening, like Harstem did in that game. So, and then to go into Void Ray production of his own, I don't know what Stats was aiming to achieve there, because he was so far behind on Void Ray count. Was he hoping to catch up? Was he hoping, like, I don't really understand that part of it either. Interesting game as we jump into game number 2 to the top right hand side. Our red Protoss player. Give it up for the player who's in the lead of the series, Harstem. Quick drink. Keep hydrated. As to the bottom left hand side of the map, it's going to be our blue Protoss player. Give it up for Stats. What's up, Fear Dragon 79 in the chat? Hitting us up with the 14-month resub. I don't know why I picked 79. What's up, Fear Dragon? Thank you for the 14 months. PvP is so stressful. Is this live? We are live with the casting. The casting is live. The replays are obviously from replays from last week's IEM Katowice. So, hello, I'm live. Hi guys. What's up? What's going on? What's up, Vintage? How you doing, mate? I'm assuming you are the Vintage with a name change. If you're not the Vintage, then you're probably wondering what the heck I'm talking about now. Maybe you're not. Maybe there's someone else called Vintage. StarCraft 2. I guess it's not that weird of a name, right? Proxima Station here for game number 2, and well, we set off into this best of 3 game 2 with the sense that it's a bit of a weird map for PvP. And you can see why. Double gate openings are all the rage in PvP, but with an in-base expansion, well, you can expand with one gateway and fully wall, or you can tech off of one gateway as well without expanding and catch your opponent off guard and unable to scout. It's kind of a weird one. It's a very weird one, actually. And you're going to be seeing a pylon coming down just to the left of this base as well. So pylon coming down to the left side. Stargate is about halfway done here from Harstem. So Stargate about halfway done. We see the Twilight Council just over halfway done from stats. And we set up into this. See what the next stage is going to be. Probes continue to come on in and mining away on these minerals. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Again, I feel this time Stats is in a bit of a better position because the Twilight opening does give him kind of the, you know, if he goes Blink against the Stargate, it's generally going to work out a bit better for him. A little bit of a cancel there as he gets his probe stuck in between the gateways or so. Let's look at Harstem. Double Stargate from the very start of the game. Already just Phoenix on the way. No Oracles this time. Just going straight into Phoenix, and I guess he'll build a few of these and see how it works out. So again, Harstem with Stargate-based openings, which again, to me, do not seem quite what you expect them to be. They seem a little bit different, so it's interesting. Not quite what I'm expecting, as we do see. Phoenix continue to come on up then. Robo Facility comes on down in the main base for stats. I mean, he goes Blink, he goes Robo. It's super standard. It's just a way to get into very normal PvP mid-game. And yet here we are, going up against Double Stargate once again. Stats in a bit of a weird situation here. Did you just see the game just initializing still? First 4.5 minutes, and because it was just a faster expand from both and full wall-offs, again, nothing too exciting out on the map apart from what's being built in the bases. So we are waiting for these Phoenix to come into play and see what they can do. 3 of them going to start moving across the map. Now, one of the questions is, how many Phoenix does he build? Does he go up to just 5 Phoenix? 5, 6 is fairly standard. And then into Void Rays? Or does he go into a lot of Phoenix? And something, you know, along those lines, which is just a little bit different. Well, let's find out. Right now, these Phoenix coming towards the bottom left-hand side. And you do see Rob here from Stats actually is having a bit of trouble expanding because of the pylon on the low ground. So that's a little bit of a nuisance. He's only just now taking down these this pylon on his main, so you can only just now start to come down the low ground. He's going to be able to shut down into depth very quickly. Nice idea from Harstem to kill this probe, but Stats getting rid of that pylon to get out, getting down here in time by getting rid of the pylon. And here we go, Phoenix are across the map, and 6 workers killed already. Not a bad start. However, now those Phoenix out of energy, and with Phoenix, with Stalkers coming across the map, they're going to have to be careful because he needs to make sure he's got enough at home to be able to defend against this Stalker count, which is maybe threatening an attack here. Now we do see Void Rays on the way now from Harstem once again, and Immortal 2. Let's see if it's going to be enough. Obviously, he'll maybe actually take the third Nexus a little bit earlier. Well, maybe not earlier, but a bit faster. That's not what I want to say. Hold that forward anyways, because Stalkers are pushing forwards. I was going to say maybe Harstem could have taken his third Nexus earlier compared to Stats than in the last game because he's delayed his opponent's third with that pylon. As it stands, I think it's maybe not quite going to happen. Double overcharge to push this away, and Stats just going to sit and set up a bit of a soft contain on Harstem now, sitting in his third Nexus and just making life difficult for Harstem to really do much with. Stalkers blinking forwards, just going to try and get a Phoenix. Unfortunately, doesn't quite manage to make that happen. Still a full wall for Harstem on the high ground. His Stats back at home will just make use of his position. Start up his own third Nexus. Still warping in Stalkers. Maybe not the time of the game where you want to keep warping in Stalkers, but instead go into something just a little bit different, where you maybe start teching up into that Robo base, start getting Disruptors ready. You know, it's a bit of a tough one because I feel as though more Stalkers right now doesn't really help him out, but more tech will make the future of this game so much nicer for him. So I'm a little bit 50-50 about it. Doesn't even warp in like a sentry over here or anything to kind of like force field the ramp. I guess, I mean, it's a bit risky because the Phoenix can just come in and lift the sentry anyways, but Stalkers can get back away now, let Harstem down in towards his third Nexus as Well, 2 Void Rays continuing to build here. Another Immortal on the way up, just about halfway done. Forge coming down on the natural expansion, and Templar Archives on the main base from stats. So, still setting up into this. A few of these probes coming down the ramp and in towards the third Nexus as well. You see Stalker's blinking forwards. The Phoenix takes a lot of damage. Just trying to scout out, I think. Harstem just trying to figure out, how far ahead his stats on this third Nexus than I am. And he sees it finish. He's like, okay, finished. Not really quite saturated yet, so I'm not in too bad a spot. Because again, Harstem's composition is expected to expand more slowly. This composition packs more of a punch, right? And actually, I wonder if this game, War Prism on the way up, I wonder if Harstem is maybe thinking about getting a bit aggressive himself, because he is up against what he's just scouted as a primarily gateway, primarily stalker-based army. He's got a lot of these Phoenix as well, so he can actually lift up a couple of tech-heavy units. So if there was a couple of Mortals mixed in, he could pick those up a lot more easily than in previous games and take them out of the equation. So I wonder if Harstem does get ready to attack this time around, rather than just sitting back at home and saying, you know what, I'll wait for you to attack into me. Stats' response is very different. I mean, already no Immortals, but he's also going in towards the Storm. Oh man, this could be a really good time for Harstem to attack, because I guess he just scouted that Templar Archives as well. Don't know if he saw it researching, I don't think he did. But he might make the assumption that if he's trying to go into Storm against this, that could be a very good time for him to attack as well. I'm a little bit worried for stats here. He does have a full NG Mothership core. He's got plenty of Stalkers, he's got Depths coming in as well. They now have Resonating Glaives. Will help him a lot on the ground, but is it going to be enough? Probes getting ready to go over here as we see, well, Void Ray is already pushing the front. Overcharges, a lot of them going down. Harstem should just back away from this. I mean, that's a lot of overcharges to commit to. The triple overcharge, oh, sorry, just the double overcharge already. Before, I could have sworn the first battle that died had an overcharge on it too, but double overcharge already. He's actually going to come in and take off one of these pylons. Nice couple force fields from Harstem. Still has his Phoenix to utilize here as well. Let's see if he's going to use these. We're going to be seeing him continue to push his way through this. We're going to see Warp Prism setting up, ready to warp in once again. This Nexus taking a little bit more damage to it, and a Guardian Shield is going to come down from stats. He wants to try and push into this, but again, the force field's keeping this away. Nice split away from them Storms. I mean, that's just the first Storm, but Harstem, he's already picking up the third Nexus. Blinking forwards here. Void Rays have Prismatic alignment on point, and so he's already able to push these Stalkers back, and Harstem is going to keep himself in a pretty decent position here. Stalker's trying to poke forwards, trying to get rid of that Prism, and now we see the Phoenix coming into play, just lifting up as many units as possible, taking them out of the equation. Another couple of Storms, but the Voids are split up, and so Harstem is still pushing through the front. The Void Rays are powering him through this, and he's lifting up as many Stalkers as possible to get rid of the anti-air, which is starting to kill some of these Void Rays. I mean, there's not many of the Void Rays left, only 3 of them now, 2. He's got an Immortal as well, though. The Phoenix is still helping out also, and actually, Stats just doesn't have any more units. GG! Harstem picks up a 2-0 against Stats here in the group stages of IEM Katowice. GG's, Harstem takes the 2.